It is season 2, episode 3 of Let's Chat with Cat and Pat. This week, Cat and Pat, well, they discuss sabotage, as Pat's ex-wife is doing everything she possibly can to ruin Cat and Pat's upcoming boy band weekend. Also, how the hell are 2 out of the 3 kids now driving newer cars than Cat and Pat? All that and so much more coming up right now. It is season 2, episode 3 of Let's Chat with Cat. Episode 3 of Let's Chat with Cat and Pat. Patrick Gilroy alongside Katrina Pateri here on a Monday night. Connor's back home. Successful week at Civil Air Patrol encampment. Both of us, I think, were wildly relieved. When I went to pick him up on Saturday, and the feedback was great. He did a good job. He got to fly a couple of planes, did the obstacle courses. He wasn't an asshole. Matter of fact, they said that he was a leader, and they promoted him. So next year when he goes, they want him to go to the leadership camp. So all in all, a really good week for him.
And then it came back to normal, like, huh?
Yeah,
what?
It's amazing.
What do you mean?
So he can go to this like military, legitimately, it's on the joint base on Cape Cod, where you've got all 4 branches of the armed forces there, and they're sleeping in their barracks. They're using their obstacle courses, using their equipment, led by legitimate people that are leaders in the Air Force and the Army. And these guys are getting up at 5 a.m, doing PT. They have to make their beds every day to a very specific specification, he was telling me. And he's able to do all of this.
There's proof in the pudding that not having technology all day long at your fingertips is very beneficial.
That's what it is, right? It's got to be that.
100%
Because on day 1, they made him turn in his cell phone.
Yeah.
And by day 7, the kid was awesome. And it was so nice not to get a phone call, not to get an email saying, hey, your kid's being a jerk. We got a problem. Can you come solve it? Or he's got to go home. So proud of him for that. But then just amazed that within 24 hours of the return home, how maddening it can be, knowing everything that he did. And now it's like, oh, I got to pull my pants on one leg at a time. Like, it just...
Yeah, how do I fasten the belt? It was 2 hours of getting him in his dress blues that he just happily got himself dressed for. No problem for a week.
Yeah. So on the car ride to Civil Air Patrol, I will say that he is eager to continue to rank up. And he said something about becoming a major. And I asked him how long that takes. And he said, it's not about how long. It's about the things you check off the boxes.
That's correct. Yeah.
So a faster way of getting there is when he goes to high school in a year. He told me he wants to join the ROTC.
I hope so. We've got a good squadron leader here in town for that one.
That'd be great.
Really good.
So hopefully, whether football continues or not beyond this year, if this is his extracurricular, I've got no problem with that.
Yeah.
That's it. But the complications that come with having exes and bonus parents and extracurriculars and the time and the expense and all that goes into it. For a lot of families, I understand it's fine. And if you're a divorced family, a broken family, a reinvented family, a blended family, for most of them, I have to imagine that you guys figure it out. It's fine. It's pretty equitable from one side to the other. I feel like lately we are getting shafted, and I don't want to say that in a way where it sounds like we don't want him here, because I think we need to preface the conversation by saying we have offered on multiple occasions to essentially keep him full-time while continuing to give away the child support. Like
100%.
It won't hurt you a penny financially, but if you're not capable of doing the things that need to be done to make him successful, we are happy to take on that burden.
Just let us be able to have the ability to plan properly. That's all we're asking for.
That's it.
Just want to plan. We can't deal with the last minute Sally crap.
It's awful. And we were supportive when she got the part-time job. And, when she can't pick him up from school, It's not the end of the world, because if we've got other things going on, school's within walking distance. He can come
we
here.
just have to get permission.
Yep. He can come here. He can let himself in. You've prepared a snack for him if you know he's coming here. And he can sit here, do his homework, and wait a few hours.
Yeah.
That's easy. It's the other stuff that's really getting it annoying. And I can see it on your face when I get the messages, and I'm in such a position of like, it's powerless. What do I do? Because she plays it really, really smoothly to make sure she gets what she wants. So let's run through yesterday real quick. We're supposed to bring him back to mom Wednesday around 9 a.m. We were already planning on keeping him until about 9 p.m. because she is unable to deal with football on Wednesday nights.
Mind you, it's after 13 days of no contact with her child, and she only had 36 hours with her child prior to the 13-day hiatus.
Right. So she's had him for essentially a day and a half over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
A little over 3 weeks.
Right. So at this point, you'd think that, your biological mom would be itching to spend time with you. But she's got other things going on. That's fine. Not our business. We offer to keep him here like we did 2 weeks ago before encampment. We'll keep him for the day, get him to football, bring him back from football, feed him dinner, make sure he's showered. Then whenever you're free, you're welcome to come get him. That's what we did 2 weeks ago.
Which is like 9:30, which is past his bedtime usually here.
It is.
It's past our bedtime as working people.
Yeah, it is past our bedtime. It's past his bedtime, and it immediately starts the downward spiral of his schedule.
Correct. And he needs his routine. He thrives in his routine.
Desperately does, which is why it's not a surprise that he did well at encampment.
Correct.
It's 100% routine-based.
Routine schedule. It's like right in his wheelhouse.
Yep. So we get the text last night after already accepting an additional 12 hours of responsibility. And it's not so much the 12 hours of responsibility. It is, we don't get that much time together, just you and I. Wednesday nights, we like to go get dinner out.
Because it's a cheap night.
It's a cheap night. It's half off bottle of wine night. And it's easy enough to get in somewhere without, having to wait.
Other people aren't out, that we can go out. We can have a date night for under $70, including tip.
So we give that up to benefit him.
Yep.
And then, but I've worked all day. You've worked all day. It's your responsibility to make sure that he is prepared for football. He's got all his gear. He's good to go. He's got his water. He's been fed, whatever he needs. And then I got to race him there. I stick around and watch because I've been asked to watch, which means I lose my evening. And then I bring him home, and then we got to get him in the shower. You've prepared dinner for him. It's a long night. And again, it's fine. But then we get the text last night saying, last Thursday, her hot water heater shit the bed. And the guy couldn't fix it, needed to order a part. So could he stay here indefinitely until the hot water's fixed? Now, mind you.
Now, the only issue here is he just can't take a hot shower. That's it. There's no other reason why he can't be there beyond a hot shower.
She didn't just ask me. I should have read the text directly. She said that I just got off the phone with Connor, and he agrees he would like to stay with you indefinitely.
Well, I mean, so he's now begging to stay here all the freaking time.
Right, but now we have to say no to her and say no to him. Saying no to her is fine. Saying no to him, unless we do it carefully, I don't want him to feel like he's not welcome here.
But it's the first set of plans we've made that don't include him in 8 weeks.
Yep.
That we've had planned since January.
Yep. And we're not giving it up.
No fucking way.
So,
and if it needs to get given up, I'm finding somebody else to go, and you're stuck staying home.
I want to go see the New Kids on the Block.
Well, I mean, and not for nothing, but it's not the first time we've had to cancel, redo, or you've had to leave, and I've had to do something on my own.
Well, going back to your sister's wedding years ago, me having to leave early.
How about my 38th birthday?
Right. It's becoming a bit of a trend. And I don't want to believe she does it maliciously, but I think she does it maliciously.
Well, I mean, like Thanksgiving this past year.
Yeah. I mean, even Christmas Eve, when they show up at the restaurant that they know we're going to be at.
Yeah.
Like, she just does everything she can now.
To, ruin your time.
I do think I handled it wonderfully in the best possible way, because she wasn't prepared for my answer.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know. She was unaware that we had already worked out the fact that Caitlin, our daughter, was going to.
See, I don't think she was unaware that Caitlin was coming to take care of the dog.
I do, because if she were aware that Caitlin was taking care of the dog, then she would have been prepared for a better answer than, oh, that sounds good, thanks. Because my counter offer to her was, no, we'll keep him Wednesday. Don't worry about picking him up. I'll drop him off Thursday morning. I'm away to work at your house. And then Caitlin is taking care of the dog for the weekend. So if your hot water heater is still not fixed, they can both come here. She can drive him here when she takes care of the dog, and they can both come here and they can both shower here. And what is she going to say if the whole reason behind wanting us to keep Connor was he needs a hot shower? Well, we solved that problem.
Well, and if he needs to come back Saturday night or Sunday, we're back. But Thursday and Friday night, like, we're doing something that I've dreamed about doing since I was like 10 years old. Like,
Right.
We're not giving it up. And it's non-refundable. Like, the hotel, like, everything's non-refundable.
Now, we're not going to talk about the fact that it's been a beautiful summer, and now the weather this weekend is
I
gonna
can't. We've had two
suck.
double whammies.
It's gonna suck. But at least this time, as opposed to the concert we went to at the same venue last year, where we had lawn seats, at least this time we're covered.
Correct.
So we won't leave there frigid and drenched and unable to get warm. But I'll say this. We've done a ton of favors. We do favors weekly.
Well, when we took him extra just for Civil Air Patrol, she was supposed to give us dates to make up her time.
Right.
And instead, she comes back, hasn't seen him, hasn't talked to him, and is like, can you keep him indefinitely?
Right. So we've done how many favors? Dozens? Hundreds? I don't know.
Well, like when each of her parents died, when she's had to do different things.
DCF stuff.
Rehab stuff,
Yeah.
AA stuff. Like,
all of it.
You name it. Like, we've done it.
So the frustrating part is, okay, you think that you put
the car accident stuff.
Yep.
And that's not just one.
But you put a lot of goodwill into that bucket. And with us getting married in January and honeymoon in February.
Please stop talking about the dates, because they're going to get ruined.
I didn't give the dates.
I know, but like, it's going to get ruined.
2027, whatever it is, okay?
Yeah.
Like, the point is, with things that we have going on, we have to meticulously work around the schedule that she elected. Like, she chose this, she wanted it. We were fine with the old schedule. She petitioned the court for the current schedule.
She specifically wanted to have him on Wednesdays and Thursdays and every other weekend off. Like, we spent good money on a lawyer.
Yep.
And just like agreed to stop the bleeding of how much money we're paying for a lawyer for her to have her thing. And Wednesdays are now not good.
They don't work for her. But she's unwilling to change the parenting plan to a time that does work for her. So now we're stuck.
Because we have been accommodating on like, well, is there a way to like change this or adjust?
Like, what do you want to do?
What do you want to do? Do you want to just start taking them like on Thursdays and we'll just keep them completely through Friday? I said no.
Like,
it's threats of we're going to call the police, you're abusive. Like, it's the horrible things, but then it's like, oh, here's my cucumber from my garden. Oh, the hot water heater broke. It's going to be expensive. And I feel like she also mentioned that it was going to be expensive like 3 times. Like, I'm going to feel bad and give her money like I do for Christmas gifts. Well, like,
you've already made it clear.
Freaking money train is fucking done.
Yeah, we're done. And we're getting to the point, like,
with how many, like, ungratefulness the kids are for like what they do get to open and the lack of enjoyment that does no longer exist for the age they are at opening gifts. I don't give a fuck if they have nothing to open for Christmas. They're going to be over it in 2 days. Okay, I really don't care.
I don't want to go down this road, but like, why not? Like, fuck it. Your kid was over here over the weekend after getting himself a new car. Yeah. Fine, good for him.
On his own.
There's a lot of good things with the new car. A lot of good things. However, there's 2 things that impact us. First thing is we pay half of his insurance, and it gets billed every 6 months. So once a year, we get a significant bill. When I first met you, that bill was like $470. Then he upgraded his car to the 2019 Nissan, and it
in red.
With
the extra fee.
It jumped to like $780 or whatever it was. Yeah. And we still covered that.
Yep.
Now he's got a brand new car that's worth a lot more, and it's going to jump again. He's had the car for a week now. You've asked him at least 3 times that I know of, what is the car insurance bill going to look like now?
Again, all I want to know is
to be prepared.
I just want to be prepared. Do I need to start like like it's a big bill to get hit in December. And then we got heating oil. There's always something unexpected. You know, that the mortgage payment might change after the first of the year with taxes and escrow and whatever.
Mind you, he's going to be 21 this November, and 3 days after getting the new car, he comes here to show it off to you.
Christ.
So hold on, comes here to show it off to you, doesn't have the insurance quote for you, and
No.
then says, "Let's talk about my birthday gift." Like, what?
What? How about your birthday gift is insurance and your Christmas gift is insurance?
Like, it's $1,000.
That's still a lot for a birthday gift and a Christmas gift at 21 fucking years old. And then this kid has the audacity to give me a hard time. And I'm like, do you have any idea what I was doing when I was 21? I was making close to $70,000 a year. I was married. I was paying off your father's college education, raising and paying for you, and making all these bills go around. And you're sitting here thinking, oh, can I get this? Can I get that? Like what I was getting for Christmas was fucking diapers at your age.
Yeah, like that's it. That's the way that it was, and you were grateful to get what you got.
I was super happy to get like diapers. I got like formula. I got my father did give me like a $50 gift card to make sure like I bought some new staples for my work attire for me because obviously my weight was different after having a
Sure.
child.
Yep.
But like, damn.
They have no idea.
Like my mother needed money from me to buy groceries.
Yep.
Like,
you know what my mom costs. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. It amazes me that these kids have grown up in this environment. And your environment was one way, my kid's environment was another. But the similarity is they both watched you and I work like dogs.
And he goes, well, you're like dual income now, and dad's still single income. And I said, yeah, but at what point is you being an adult mean that like all the hard work that I put in, that maybe mom gets to enjoy like a little bit of what she earns for like a hot second? Like, can I go and like splurge for a minute and actually buy a pair of jeans that fit, that I feel good in, instead of buying something on clearance that's like decent because I can afford the extra $40 because my kid's working full time and he's gonna go be an engineer. And
Well, he brags.
He just bought himself a brand new fucking
He's
car.
got the
So-
newest, nicest, most expensive car out of all of us.
Right. So like I'm buying jeans for like $25, $30 at TJ Maxx and Marshalls for him to have like a decent life and also to like support some stuff for your kids. But you know what? It would be nice after how hard I've worked. Can I actually like go to Nordstrom and take the day and drive to Burlington and like buy myself like a boba tea and get like $100 pair of jeans? Like, would that be the end of the freaking world after working this hard in my 40s?
So
is that a lot to ask?
2 years ago, when my ex-wife tried to take us to court and use the dual income,
Oh,
and the judge, thank God,
aren't even married or domestic
right,
partners.
the judge, thank God, ruled against it and said she's not entitled to your money.
But I still had to show everything.
Right, but I thought it took giant balls from her to come after your money. But
then when she's like, but then when the ruling comes out from all that,
Yep.
that she's not going to get any more, that my income doesn't count.
Yep.
But somewhere in there that you miss paying her like $412.
So you wrote her a check.
So I wrote her a check. That's abusive, and she refused to take it.
Right, I get it.
So then I have to transfer you the money
So I can give it to her
so
directly.
you can give it to her directly.
It's a joke.
But then 2 weeks later, when she had no money left for the kids for Christmas,
She took your money.
She can take that check.
Took your money. It takes giant balls to like look at you and say, well, you're dual income now, when I'm sorry, like he's essentially my kid's stepbrother at this point. Like, they love him, he loves them. Like, so are we supposed to not provide for all three of you equally in different ways?
Right. And I don't want to come off sounding like an asshole. Like, I mean, the state police just called me. I donated. The Firefighters Association called me. I donated. We do a run for cancer every year. I'm a big, like, donation. Anything I have extra, like,
If it's a worthy cause,
like,
not to mention all the donations we do for football, for Connor, like,
well, and I've had, I mean, my job has changed, but like when I did all those years for retail and I had like extra clothes or stuff around the house, or knew that like it was hard for them to have money to buy stuff for their kids for Christmas, I did something every year.
Of course.
So I don't want to say like I'm cold-hearted. My thing is I want to look at somebody and see the appreciation or the thank you so much.
we don't
And
get
if
that.
I'm not going to get it, then I'm going to go buy myself the freaking full price pair of jeans.
Well, again,
Like, my kid's 21. You're going to vote for a president this year. You just bought yourself a brand new car. Woe is me that you can't afford the extra like $450 in your car insurance.
I will say,
I really don't care.
I will say it was funny. The one thing that you told me about the conversation that you had with him when you explained to him that, you paid for his father's college and yada, yada, yada. And why don't you ask your father for more? And he said, well, because you make more than he does. So, so what?
Well,
the dude's got a bachelor's degree. Just because
he's got a bachelor's degree that mom paid for, okay?
Right. But it's his choice not to have a second job or have a higher paying job.
And you have a second job. I have a second job. There's absolutely no reason with his schedule why he can't have a second job. So if he doesn't like what he has coming in, go out and get another fucking job.
Go make more. But
I am not the person who's responsible for your inflation.
But they're not wired like that. So you got my ex-wife collecting on the child support as if it's actually 50-50. Your ex-husband laying into your son being like, oh, you need more? Go to mom, go to mom, go to mom, go to mom. And then if you say no so many times, then they weaponize the relationship, because what happens if you say no a bunch or you get bitchy because you're sick of being asked every week, then your son takes a step back for a month or two.
Right. And then I get punished with no communication.
Right. It's
ridiculous.
It's awful. They weaponize the kids and it fucking sucks. It's not fair, but no court will hold them accountable for that. Meanwhile, if I miss a child support payment,
you go to jail.
I'm going to jail.
And then if I pay it, it's abusive.
It's abusive. You're going to jail.
Right. So, we're not even discussing, when they do come for dinner, the number 2 requests are expensive steak, not just steak, but, butcher steak, specialty steak.
And by the way, I'm bringing my boyfriend.
Well, so now they're mouth to feed for this. Or my kid is steak and salmon.
Yep.
The 2 most expensive things, because they can't get it at the other person's house. So then when we do get to see them and spend the time, we gotta, and at least I'm a good cook and they're willing to let me cook it because that saves it. But imagine if we had to go out to eat.
Okay, I cook the steak every time.
Well, but I do the sides.
You do the sides or you do the salmon?
I did chocolate-covered freaking strawberries last time your daughter was here.
You did, and I appreciate that. Okay.
Well, do you know how much that costs to go buy them if I didn't make them?
She appreciated it too.
Okay.
But your son sits at the head of the table. He takes my seat.
He just follows suits of my father. Apparently, that's what they do.
They take my seat.
It's ridiculous.
I'm outside sweating my balls off on the grill, making this delicious steak.
Do you know what I think we should do?
What?
I think we should buy a round table for the kitchen so there's no more head at the table.
So I don't deserve to sit at the head of my own table, huh?
I'm just saying.
To make it fair for the kids.
Wouldn't it be confusing just to see what the looks are on the faces? If we can afford the table.
Yeah, right now we're not buying new furniture.
Well, we live in Wyndham. People are giving away free stuff. If we see a free round table with 6 chairs, we'll take it.
It does make me worry a little bit because the middle child, Caitlin, is going to be 18 next summer, and we sort of been counting down the days until her child support goes away. Now, we're going to still continue to support her directly.
Correct.
But the money will go directly to whatever it's post-secondary school she's in, or we'll pay a car insurance bill. We'll find a way to contribute a lot of money, but make sure it benefits her directly.
Specifically, because that's the child support is supposed to be specifically for the children, and that's not always the case.
But the frustrating part is there's no end in sight in a lot of ways because
society is now you provide for your children till they're 26.
Right, because...
What the fuck was that?
Well,
how beneficial would that have been to us?
It would have been life-changing.
I moved out at 18. I know that you did too. Yep. I had to come up with my own insurance.
Yep.
Figure it out. Yeah. We worked multiple jobs to put ourselves through college.
I split an apartment with my buddies. It is what it is.
I had several different series of roommates. It's just ridiculous.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
yeah, yes. Yes, you did.
It's just
But you had to put yourself in unsafe situations because you were expected to operate as an adult at a certain age.
And that was what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so, I don't want to put our children in unsafe situations, but I feel like you've learned a lot. You grew a lot. And it's helped us be successful in our current jobs. And we're not equipping these kids to have to figure this stuff out.
No, we're not equipping. Their intelligence level, I feel, is higher than ours was. It's higher than it's ever been. And the intellect itself, it's mind-blowing, off the charts. Your son, my son, they are geniuses. Believe it or not, Caitlin, super smart. They don't know how to apply themselves.
Yep.
And they've all got ADD, and they don't have any idea.
Well, they're all self-diagnosed ADD.
Correct.
I mean, like, we're terrible with WebMD saying, oh, we have a cold, we have strep throat, whatever. But they go to the extreme with, like, mental health issues.
Oh, yeah. They've all got them. I mean, when Roger was complaining over the weekend that some of his financial aid got pulled back, didn't he say that he had a disability?
Good grief. And it's like, no, you know what your issue is? Don't work 40 fucking hours while you're in college. You're making too much money. So they're not going to give you money to go to school because you're earning. Great that you're earning, but if you're earning, then that means you can pay for it.
They're saying,
have some pride and pay for it.
What they're saying to him, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. What they're saying to him is, if you're going to roll up to school in a brand new Honda Accord, you don't need the financial aid, young man.
Thank you.
That's what the school is saying. Meanwhile,
when his father and I got divorced, they're like, you know what? You're making $120,000 a year in 2005, and he's making $16.50 an hour. You don't need child support. You don't need, we'll nix the alimony for you to observe all the child services options. It's the same fucking deal. So he wants to go ahead and bitch that he's worked too much for financial aid. Well, you know what? His father deserved to at least pay $25 a week for child support or daycare or something.
There is a solution, but nobody wants to acknowledge it. We can shut this down real quick. He can just make my mother's address his legal address, and he can go to, as of right now, either Bunker Hill Community College or North Shore Community College for free.
Right, but those aren't the ones that are great with, like, the engineering and blah, blah, blah. And the reality is like, I really think in his head that he thinks I'm going to continue to give him gas and grocery money until he's 26 because that's for health insurance.
Until he's 30.
When
he actually said
he's actually going to graduate college and get a job that probably makes more money than I make. And he's going to think, like, what do you mean you're taking away grocery money?
He actually said to us at the beginning.
Like, he's literally going to be a year out of college making more money than I do.
In the spring, he said to us, there's a world that exists where he essentially never moves out of his dad's house unless he meets somebody. And he's living there at 30, 31. And as long as he's living there, he expects the $500 a month. And that's because no matter what he makes, he is not going to feed his father. We are just... That's
supposed to be my problem?
Didn't he try to tell you over the weekend?
Well, he wanted an inflation increase, which is the second time I've been asked for an inflation increase.
The first time your ex-husband asked for it. The second time, he sent his son to ask for it.
It was fantastic. I had just been at the grocery store, like legit. Came home from the grocery store. My son's pulling in. I'm like, this is great. I have like 30, 40 grocery bags in the back of my car. I can get some help to bring them in. And he is well trained because he lived with me for the majority of his life. So he just knows, automatic, I need to bring the grocery bags in. So he brings them all in. We do the whole thing. Of course, I get my hard copy of the receipt, like the whole piece. And I've gotten 7 different meats, including steak. I've gotten soda. I've gotten like Gatorades, Powerades, like the whole 9, like some big ticket items. I got the specialty items for dinner tomorrow for Caitlin that were not on sale, which were the only 2 things that I purchased that were not on sale. I've gotten deli meat. I've gotten produce. I got a couple salad dressings, a few things that we were running low on. But it was 47 line items on this grocery receipt. And he sits there and he goes, do you know how much money it costs to buy groceries for 2 people every week? Like, Dad spends like $125, and the money that you give is just not enough for that.
Who spends?
Dad spends.
No, Dad doesn't spend.
We freaking provide.
Look, just because Dad's running the card.
So we're spending $100 a week because.
Hold on, So
Dad's spending $25.
Stop it! I don't get to do this very often because you have the better credit. You've got all the cards.
Yeah.
In this scenario, Dad spends. Dad has the same name as his son, your son, Roger. So there are 2 Roger Ordways. Roger Ordway is the authorized user on my fucking credit card.
Because it only has a $500 limit, so they can get cut off.
Right, exactly. I want it cut off at $500 because when they had the big one.
Oh my God, it was like reason after reason after reason for going over. So there needed to be a limit. So he's like, do you know how much you can get for $125 a week at the grocery store? I said, as a matter of fact, I do. Let's check out my receipt. With the 47 line items, I saved money in every single thing. I couponed like a motherfucker on that. I saved $100 at the grocery store.
Mhm.
I spent $150, and I spent $150 for 3 things that I paid full price on. 2 of which were for your daughter, 1 of which was for me, which was cottage cheese, because I'm just like snobby about my cottage
And
cheese.
if you had wanted to save the money on the thing for my daughter, you could have.
Well, now that I know that she's going to request shaved steak when it's on sale, I'll buy it.
It's Market Basket once a month does the previously frozen ones.
It was more expensive at Market Basket than it was at Shaw's. I specifically bought it at Shaw's. I had a $5 off if you buy like a meat. So like I made it worth the while, but it was still like
I get it.
a higher ticket item. And he's like, "Oh my God, Mom, I also got like Fairlife milk. Like I got some, I got Doritos. I got Planters peanuts. Like I got high-end items, and I spent $150. I saved $99, and I got $10 off for the next time I go shopping." And he's like, "I guess I really can't complain about this." And I was like, "No, because if you're smart about shopping..."
It's not about being smart about shopping. It's about the same thing we tried teaching our kids when they were 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years old. Okay? And when mommy and daddy are spending the money on them, they don't learn the value of a buck. And unfortunately, your ex-husband has never learned the value of a buck. You carried him while you were married. His parents carried him in the interim. You're carrying him now. And his parents still pay, correct me if I'm wrong, they pay the down payment on his house. They pay for his car. And they still come over, feed him, and do his laundry. So he's never had to once stand up on his own and fully comprehend the value of an earned dollar. That's why when he goes and he spends $125, he's going there because he's got 10 things on his list that he knows he wants, and he's not willing to adjust the. Tell me, is he kind of like your Uncle Tom in a way, where like he only wants one brand of one thing?
We're gonna be divorced 19 years.
But is
coming up? I don't know the grocery shopping scenario here.
But is there a world that exists where
I'm sure full price Apple Jacks are on that list.
Like you got Hidden Valley Ranch, $4.99. Market Basket version, 99 cents. Something tells me he's going for the $4.99 bottle because he's not spending his money.
Right.
And if you were spending his money, it'd be all store brand.
But it was like, I gotta say, I took a lot of pride in.
You should.
The things that my son was coming at me to try to get me for more money, and I was like, "Here's what I just got," and he was like, he had no argument.
His argument wasn't his argument or his follow up. At the end of the month, Dad only has $100 left over.
Yeah, not my fucking problem. So we each have 2 jobs.
So that means.
Not only that, but he has a college education that I paid for, that he could go and apply for a higher paying job. He chooses to have the job that he has. He chooses to have the benefits that he has. So freaking accept that lifestyle that you chose.
You know what sucks?
Not my fucking issue.
You know what sucks? In a few years, when little Roger's done with college and on his own, hopefully, and we're rounding down these conversations about your ex-husband, we're going to be wrapping up alimony with my ex-wife, and the same conversations are going to keep us starting.
Not my fucking problem.
Not my fucking problem.
You know what? You wanted to choose and do the things that you did and make the choices and decisions that you made in your life.
Well, they're both.
We have been really nice, and we have done a lot of extra things, and I hope that our good juju, at a minimum, is saving us a seat on the bus to heaven when we die.
Okay, I'm not ready for that.
No, but I'm just saying, I've been divorced twice. So, like, there's been often times that I've been like, save me a seat on the bus to hell. I'm thinking all of my goodwill at this point in the 21st century with everyone's opinions of where everything has gone.
Hey, the new Pope says that you can be gay, get married, and do dudes in the ass and go to heaven. So in this new world,
I've had to lift up, right? And I always want to
I wish these cameras were working right now.
So I'm hoping that like this need that I have to do the right thing no matter what, even if it pisses me off, I get to complain about it, but I'm still going to do it. I'm going to heaven.
I hope so. I think you will. You've certainly earned your way. And I've learned that because of the way that you've handled every situation with my ex-wife, every situation with my daughter, and every situation with my son. We are not perfect parents. Mm-mm. We make our mistakes. Sometimes emotions get the better of us, but that's few and far between.
Well, I'm walking the dog. I'm walking away. I'm going to take a shower. Like, I just walk away.
You don't engage.
No.
And that's the best way to do it. Sometimes I wish I was that way with you. When you get a little bitchy towards me, I should just walk away because after 15, when I do walk away after 15 minutes, you're fine. But you just need that 15 minutes to like calm down.
Yeah,
Same
the
thing.
Italian in me comes out.
Yeah, it does. It comes out to play, and there's nothing wrong. It's part of what makes you sexy and like makes you who you are. You're vivacious. I don't know what the word is.
Well, no, it's also the don't fuck with me.
Yeah, well, there is a certain element of don't fuck with me when it comes to you, but when it comes to these kids, we keep having the conversation that next year they're going to get it. Next year they're going to get it. Next year they're going to get it, and
I feel like they have to learn the hard way in adulthood before they get it.
I'm afraid. Here's what I'm afraid of.
That we're going to lose them before they figure that out.
Well, there's that, but I'm impressed with Roger because he took this new job that he has to be there, 2:30 in the morning, right? Whatever
well,
it is.
He works 4 p.m. to 2:30, but it is good for his resume, for his field. He's doing what I told him to do to be able to get the job that will probably make more money than I do.
I'm impressed with him for doing that and having the cojones to take a job like that. And he is diligent when it comes to work, whether it's a menial job or an important job.
And
if he makes the commitment to doing it, with the exception of coming here and taking care of Corey, when he makes an exception, when he makes a commitment to working, he does it. When it comes to taking care of Corey, he's been less than stellar.
Yeah. But that helps pay for the things that he asked for, special requests.
Right.
So, like, there's got to be a meet in the middle. Like, I'm not pleased that he bought a new car, and I think it was stupid. But I am pleased that he at least listened to me about shopping around, that he did find a better deal.
I'm not pleased that you asked him before he pulled the trigger to find out what the insurance was going to cost, knowing that we're supposed to pay half of it.
He has to go through his father on that, so...
So he shouldn't have pulled the trigger until he had the numbers.
Well, and his father's going to be like, don't worry about it. Like, they'll be able to pay for it, which is so shitty.
And that's kind of like my ex-wife with, don't worry about it. They'll take care of it, Connor.
Yeah.
And
well, you know what? The kid is equipped for freaking Civil Air Patrol, back to school, for football, all those different things. And
every doctor's appointment, every dentist appointment, we take care of every expense. And then while we don't get to see...
I just upgraded your kid's insurance.
I appreciate that. I will soon be upgraded as well.
So that we can pay less.
It's very true. But
they get better benefits, but we pay less.
And we don't see enough of Caitlin.
No.
We see more of her now, but we don't see enough of her. And we still kick in for all of her expenses. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way that when you have a new blended family, it's supposed to work. And the kids are supposed to get to make their choices. Caitlin is choosing to live elsewhere. Roger is choosing to live elsewhere. My issue is respect the money. You want to come after us for money and have smart-ass answers like you're a dual income now.
Just be grateful for what you're getting.
Be grateful for what you're getting.
Your pile.
That's exactly it. Instead of, here's my new car. Isn't this great? It's better than yours. Oh, by the way, my birthday is 4 months away.
Right.
Let's talk about this.
Mind you, I drive a 2017, and both Caitlin and Roger are driving newer cars than I do.
They are. They're both driving cars that I would have killed for at that age. At their age, I drove a 1987 Ford Thunderbird that I bought for $500.
At Caitlin's age, I was driving a purple, because there was a discount, Geo Prism. For $69 a month was my car payment.
Do you know how hot of a couple we would have been if I rolled up in my... Remember, I went to Mako for $500, had it painted Celtic green. If I rolled up next to you...
purple.
Yeah, my Celtic green Thunderbird, and you had your purple Geo Prism.
Yeah. No, I had to trade in my Honda Civic Si, which I loved.
Of course.
Because I was pregnant with Roger at the age that he just bought this car for a basic Jetta.
Oh, woe is me.
It pained. I was in a car club. Like, it pained me.
There's no car club.
No more racing.
There's no car club in America that's going to accept a purple Geo Prism.
Well, that was before, like, I started working car audio and doing different things and earning different money that I could spend money on toys and cars. And then it was like, oh, you're having a kid.
Yeah, but
now you're married.
Who was paying your car insurance at the time?
Me.
Right, exactly. So you bought the car that you could afford, knowing the other expenses that come along with the car.
100%.
The hilarity of the motivation for the new car. He blamed it on the accident to begin with, but then he drove the the car after it was fixed for a long time.
I didn't even tell you the best part.
It was, I have to spend $1,000 in new tires, so instead of doing that, I'm going to buy a new car.
I'm sorry. So the increase in the insurance, like we talked about this, and the deal is going to be like we're going away in January, we're going away in February. We want him to watch the dog. The amount it would cost for us to board the dog, for him to come and watch the dog. Like we could do the whole thing so he can get payment.
So essentially, the $300 more that we're going to have to pay a year.
We get in doggy fees.
That's the amount of money that it would cost us to board the dog. Yeah. So it's a wash.
Correct.
And would rather leave the dog at home.
So now his car, he doesn't own it. It's a lease, 12,000 miles. So he's got miles.
No, tell me he didn't say it's more miles to drive here.
He said, so then can I park my car here and use your car while you're gone?
You said yes, didn't you?
I did.
Fuck you.
Well,
that's why.
It before.
No, that's why he's never going to learn.
Oh.
That's what. No.
Well, when he was driving the crappy Buick, it was a perk to drive my car. But at least when he's driving my car, he comes here and sees Corey every day.
Here's the thing. You can't spend, the show's almost over. You can't spend the whole show talking about how the kid's never going to learn and then say yes to that. You can't do it. Not for nothing. You know this. Up until a year and a half ago, my Lexus was a lease. It was a company lease, but it was a lease. 12,000 miles a year. Yeah. And I had to make sure that I didn't go over. But I didn't stop me from doing the things I needed to do. Like, this is, how many miles is it from Dad's house to our house? 10? 11?
Not even. I think it's 7.
Okay, so if he goes over, it's not because he came here to help the dog a half a dozen times out of a calendar year. Like, that's not why. He doesn't want to drive your car. He made that very clear. He stopped asking for your car when he had the Nissan because that wasn't a lease. See, here's the thing with the lease. He knows because his father has a lease, and his father is a cheap son of a bitch. So that makes me think, anytime Dad's got to go more than 15, 20 miles, what do you think the chances are that Dad drives to his parents' house, drops off his car, and borrows Mom or Dad's car?
I don't think so, because they're all freaks about borrowing car.
Okay, this is learned behavior. It's a learned behavior, and you should not have said yes. Because you can't get mad at him for buying the car and saying you shouldn't have got a lease, and then make up for it with, yeah, here's my car.
I just want him to come and take care of Corey.
No, especially after the way he treated my car. My car has still got dents on the side of it.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
I see them every day.
I forgot about that.
And then, luckily, most of the scratches came out after multiple hours of rubbing compound, but the 2 dents are still there, and it's $4,000 to get them out, so I'm not dealing with it. I don't mind that he's a kid. I don't mind that he's a kid and something happened, because believe me,
but it was a
at his age, I made plenty of bad mistakes, and I lied about them, and I still felt bad about them to this day. My dad's last week alive, I must have apologized for 100 things that I lied about. Like, that's what it is. When I looked at him, because he gave me my car back, he came in the house, was eating, and then I took a walk around my car, and remember I came in, I'm like, honey, Roger, you guys need to come out here. And he shrugged his shoulders. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a $40,000 Lexus.
What do you mean you don't know?
Like, what? And I lent it to you for a month and a half out of the goodness of my heart while I drove my $750 2006 F-150 that is designed to go the 1 mile to the dump once a week and back. That's what it's for.
Maybe an occasional Home Depot.
I drove it twice to Logan Airport. Like, what?
The things we do for our kids.
I can't believe, I'm mad at you. We're going to end the show and I'm going to go yell at you. Like, I'm mad. I don't believe you said that. Mm-hmm. You should have at least talked to me before you answered him.
Yeah, I was more concerned about making sure we had somebody secured for Corey, but yeah, I get why that's probably not the best idea.
He's just not going to learn, and we'll do. The good news is it continues to provide us content for the show, because in 6 months he doesn't learn, in a year he won't learn. When he's 25, we're going to be complaining, that motherfucker's still getting his $500 a month. He's not even living with his father now. He just hands his father the car and spends $500. Mm-hmm. Buy all the chicken patties you want, Dad.
No.
It's inflation.
I don't care.
You have to pay the price for being married for 18 months 19 years ago for the remainder of your life.
All right. You were married for 14, and we still live our life around with the last word that your ex-wife has to say on any given day. Something we have to do.
The one thing that I will say about that, you are right. You're 1,000% right, and it's not fair.
We like live in fear on like what she needs.
Okay. You're right, and it's not fair. Do I at least, when I get those messages from her, do I at least stop what I'm doing, read them to you, and let you tell me how to respond?
Yeah, I forgot about that fact that he squeezed in there using the car, and he probably played me on that for just remembering it now because I gave you every other detail, and that was just, yeah, I got taken on that one.
You get taken a lot. You do. And it's okay. You've got a good heart, but people know you have a good heart, and it's easy to take advantage of it.
I said no to so many things, but that.
What did you say no to?
I said no to like helping with the college payments. I said no to his birthday gift.
What birthday gift? Last year, he sat here at our kitchen table and begged us to make his birthday gift the increase from the $470 to the $750 for the car insurance.
He wants an investment in a gift that I disapprove of. No.
Again, last year, it was only 9 months ago. He understood that we were going from the $470 to the $750 on the car insurance. So he said,
you got to take care of Corey then too.
But he said, I don't need a gift. Can I just take care of Corey, do some things for you guys? But my birthday gift be, you just pay the whole car insurance.
Get it taken care of. Yeah.
And we said yes. So now it's going to go up another $300. And so he wants that covered and the investment in this other gift. And it's like,
there's no investment in the other gift. It's a hard no. It's a no.
I don't mind throwing the kid a $50 gift card to a restaurant if he's got a girlfriend or
for boys' night out
or whatever. Like, I don't mind that stuff.
Well, and we can probably get that with credit card points, so I don't mind.
I don't mind doing that stuff. That stuff is fine. But I guess and Connor did it too a couple of months ago with what he wanted for his birthday and Christmas. And it's like $1,000. But I will give him
$1,200 before accessories.
I will give him credit.
Be like $1,500, $1,600.
I will give him credit because he came to us and the way that he worded it was, "What do I need to do to have an opportunity to earn this for my birthday and Christmas?" And we laid it out.
The youngest one is learning.
We laid it out, and so far, so good. The first thing he had to accomplish was making it through encampment without us getting a phone call or an email.
Yeah, and so then with that, I booked the eye appointment so we can get his PD to order.
But the next step is the crucial one. So he not only has to get all A's and B's in the first trimester, he has to get above a 70% for his homework grade for every class.
And I can't be arguing with homework. I can't.
You can't be doing that. You can't be telling us you're getting your pilot's license in 2 years, but you can't fucking do your homework.
We get that you're smart. Go through the motions. Get prepared for life.
Be smart enough to fake it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And but when I say that to him, he literally looks at me and says, "Why should I have to fake it?
Why shouldn't I just be honest in my authentic self? I'm smart." Well, you know what? Everybody has to do stuff at work that they don't like to do. It's paperwork, it's deadlines, it's different things that have to get in there. They're shaping you for adult life. He needs to learn it.
All right, deadlines. Did we miss anything? Because the deadline of the show is coming up. I have to get back on my horse and go pick him up.
We were just going to talk boy bands.
Oh, well, okay. So, no, you're right. So we started the show talking about...
We had a hard no that we're not keeping Connor indefinitely because... I was the child who grew up in the late 80s who was obsessed with New Kids on the Block. I had the comforter, I had the curtains, I had the wallpaper, you name it. I had the lunchbox. I freaking had it. It has been a dream to go to New Kids on the Block concert. But you know what? Their tickets are freaking expensive. And I won the lottery this year as a VIP member of the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion in Guilford, New Hampshire, that I got tickets underneath if it rains for $75 a piece, which was an affordable opportunity to finally, at 42 years old, go and see the New Kids on the Block.
My sister is your age. I'm 2 years older. In our house, she too had the sheets. She had the blankets. She had the pillowcases. She had the wallpaper lining all the way around her room, the trading cards, the dolls. And I thoroughly enjoyed their music from that time until they went away in like 1997 or whatever it was. But I was too manly to admit it. So if I was in the car with my mom and she was jamming out to the New Kids, I too would jam out to the New Kids. It wasn't until they broke up and then there were rumors of maybe they'll come back, and Joey McIntyre had a minute by himself, and then what's his name, Jordan had a minute by himself. But they realized at some point in the early to mid 2000s that, like, if we're going to do this we're best doing it together. And when they had that first comeback hit, I forget, it was Summer something, Summer Girls, or whatever it was. I remember the video. I was confident enough in myself at like 26 years old. I was bumping that shit and landing.
I'm like watching Blue Bloods because Donnie Wahlberg's on there. Jenny loves Donnie. Wahlburgers. Like,
Donnie needs to stop painting his hair.
He's
painting his head.
I even watched the HD TV show.
For the gay guy, John.
For John.
Yeah.
Like, I am that obsessed. But you know what? I could not afford $500
Danny
tickets.
Wood is proof of evolution. Realize that?
I could not.
He is proof that we came from monkeys.
Oh, stop it.
No, it's not. He's a white guy. Like, it's not about race or anything. But look at that face. That face, Danny Wood. Do you find him an attractive man?
No, I don't. But I would love to go see them on stage live and geek out like the teenage self that I am. But I could never afford the $300 to $500 price tickets. They were $75 a piece, and your ex-wife is not ruining it. We're going. And if you can't go,
you're gonna take somebody else.
I'm putting it on Facebook and finding the first person that says yes, and they're going to the hotel with me, and they're going to the concert.
Okay, what if it's Mark?
God, no. Okay.
What if it's Jared?
No, I got to be collective.
What if it's Jason?
No.
What if it's Roger?
They're all no's.
What if it's a man?
No.
I'm
going with the first girlfriend that wants to go that's not a lesbian. How about that?
How many lesbian girlfriends do you have?
I don't know, but I worked at Apple.
I mean, are any hot? Like,
I mean, I don't know.
You're getting a third ring before we get married.
I deserve the third ring with what I deal with.
So do we get a second girl in bed before we get married?
Oh, stop it. No.
3 rings for 2 girls?
No.
1 cup?
No. That's a recipe for divorce.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Another one.
We're not doing that.
I'm good.
All right, you got your boy band thing in?
Yeah.
Yeah, Donnie needs to stop painting his hair. Just let it go, man.
You just need to hook him up with a hair transplant.
Hey, he can go to Turkey if he wants.
Yeah.
I'll take maybe I'll get his attention this weekend.
Yeah.
And I can slip him a Svita Clinic Tighten Hair.
There you go. We can get him
business card.
Yeah.
$2,000, Donnie. Get you there and back before your next show.
You can be his guy. Being from New England, everybody's got a guy.
Everybody's got a guy.
Be his hair guy.
Yeah. The official hair clinic of Donnie Wahlberg. All right. Her name is Katrina Pateri. My name is Patrick Gilroy. If you like what you hear, tell your friends. Find us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on YouTube as part of the Kirk Minahan Podcast Network, and of course 102.9 FM in Fort Lauderdale. She's Kat. I am Pat. Talk to you next.